So I'm filming vlog 8, and this is actually in my philosophy classroom. It's empty now, but yeah, just choosing different places in Baruch, and I don't know, I kind of like doing work in classroom settings. Like, I don't know, for some reason I can focus better than even the library in Baruch, and I just really like studying in like empty classrooms and stuff. But yeah, like here I am just filming a vlog in an empty classroom. This is kind of gonna be like a continuation of the club life stuff, and I know we have to do it specifically on sexuality, but I'll just briefly touch on it, then continue my analysis of club life through my participant observation of club life in Baruch. And so the two terms I'm going to use really is sexuality and homosexuality, and I've kind of seen both in some way, shape, or form in the clubs I'm part of. And this vlog is going to be about specifically the TSO and BAP clubs that I'm part of TSO, but like we share a room with BAP, and yeah, it's just gonna like really just focus on those two, and maybe in the last one I'll go like extend it beyond that. And I think I will actually briefly touch on other clubs as well, but you know, there's only so much I can say in a single vlog, and yeah, I'm just gonna try to spread out the material. And yeah, so just regarding sexuality in TSO and BAP, so first I want to say what TSO and BAP are. TSO is the transfer student organization. Technically I'm not a transfer student. I kind of transferred from work to college, so it counts somewhat, since I did actually have a gap in between now and high school and college. Like, I didn't go straight from high school to college. I actually worked for a year and a half before coming to college. So in some ways I transferred from that, but like, you know, it's a stretch. But like, what's really cool about transfer student organization is that they pretty much allow anybody to go there and hang out with them. Like, they really don't care. And yeah, it's kind of like the Breakfast Club of Baruch, but a bit more cliquey and a bit more gossipy. Like, I don't know. Calling it the Breakfast Club is a bit too much of a compliment to transfer student organization, but they are at least open to letting you just sit and talk with them, really. And let's see, like, oh yeah, so that's the club I'm actually part of in the club suite. And so we share a room with actually pretty much almost opposite in cultural values and norms. The business, it's a business fraternity called BAP, and really what it stands for, the BAP part, is a bunch of Greek letters, which I don't know really what, yeah, like I don't actually know like what the Greek letters are. But like, yeah, it's a business fraternity in Baruch, and it just focuses on professionalism, and they claim, you know, they use like frat terms like big and little, and it's like, it's not even like, it's kind of like it's almost like a parody of like fraternities, because professionalism and fraternity don't really associate. And when you see a fraternity based on business and professionalism, it's kind of a joke. And you kind of see that actually, like, they pretend they're a fraternity, but at the same time they're like not really, like, they're all just like overly rigid and focused on grades and stuff, and they don't actually do fraternity stuff. And they're all in suits and ties. Yeah, like they're like the exact opposite almost in cultural norm. Like I said before, cultural norms and values of transfer student organization. And it's quite strange that we're in the same room. And there's actually a rivalry between, not really rivalry, like it's actually it's actually BAP that hates on transfer student organization, simply because, you know, we don't take professionalism and business to their level, which is always dress in suits and ties and talk about grades all the time, and pretend they talk about parties and events because they're so-called fraternity. But yeah, just I kind of deviated from that, like, you know, the main topic, which tends to happen in my raw and uncensored vlogs. But you know, that's part of the fun, really. And really, like, okay, so sexuality. So it's expressed differently in those two clubs, for sure. Like, so in transfer student organization, there's actually quite a bit of talk about sexuality, but it's usually when so the guys actually, the males of the room actually wait for the females to leave, when they leave for classes, and when it starts becoming less female populated, to actually start talking about sex talk and sexuality, and really get in depth, people just talk about how they use Tinder and stuff to find dates. They explain how their sexual, what they want to do sexually with people, females. And this sex talk is really just when females leave the room, because they don't want to make the females feel uncomfortable. And I've engaged in the sex talk with them, and I've engaged in talks about sexuality with them, and it's just really just saying different people they dated, different sexual experiences they had, and different also what they want from sex in the future and how they want to get it. And Tinder is thrown around a lot as an app they use. Let's see. They talk about the Baruch dating scene, which is very, very subdued compared to other schools, and very hidden almost. It's not really it's people are so focused on grades and jobs and internships and clubs and stuff and activities, that they really don't even pay they don't pay too much of a mind to dating, or they keep it well hidden, from what I noticed. And they kind of agree with me in that perspective, Transfer Student Organization. So in a way, so that group of guys, that males that talk about sexuality in Transfer Student Organization, is really just a small part of Baruch in the end. In the larger scheme of things, most of Baruch actually does not talk about this stuff, or really just engage in really. They don't actually, I think the sexuality of Baruch is very suppressed, in favor of grades. And right. I'm actually filming a vlog for an assignment. So this is you guys have a club here, right? Yeah. I think ASEC, right? Yeah. So the vlog is a little bit weird. I don't know. Are you okay with me filming the vlog while you guys hold the thing? Because I'm in the middle of it right now. Okay. I might actually finish the vlog in 5 minutes. So is that okay with you? Yeah. I don't know. You could be in the room, but it's yeah. Yeah, I was literally in the middle of the vlog. Yeah, you could say, I guess, but now I'm kind of wondering whether I should continue the vlog or it's fine though. This is actually my teacher's really okay with just saying whatever in the vlog. It's for anthropology. Yeah. Nah, I think the professor likes it when random people just come in the vlog and stuff. I don't know, she's really weird. Alright, actually I shouldn't be even saying this, but so Professor Gaunt, and she's so our final project is 10 vlogs, and so I actually got cut off from the last vlog, and this is the new location, a random corner of the Baruch. And wait, I'll actually get a chair, shelter myself in. But basically, I'm gonna post both vlogs just because, in honor of the raw and uncensored theme, the other vlog deserves to go uncut along with this one. And this is just gonna be a continuation of what I was saying before I got cut off. Getting cut off is part of the fun of these raw and uncensored vlogs, in my opinion. And yeah, I'm just gonna host both vlogs in the end. And let's see. So what was I saying actually? Oh yeah, okay. So TSO. I really do believe there's a suppression of sexuality in Baruch, and that can be seen in the club life. It's only that small group of guys and males who discuss sexuality and stuff after they leave. After the females really leave the room. And that's actually when, that's the only group I see that's been discussing it this openly. Everybody else just suppresses it. They call it, you know what they discuss instead? They discuss dating and that's where BAP comes in. BAP, the business fraternity, always professional seeming, business focused and stuff, and really like all they do is just they either discuss grades, but there actually are a few people who discuss their preference for like, alright, so it's always the girls. It's interesting. In BAP, it's always the females who discuss their dating preferences. And then I have my doubts that they date at all, but like they were saying, oh, I prefer this from a guy, I prefer that from a guy. And maybe it's because they have a higher standard, because they're so professional and on track to get a good grades and a good career, since due to the GPA requirement of BAP, or yeah, they're just always talking about their high standards for guys, and you know, in terms of dating, and like they're always like judging guys too. Like they're like, oh yeah, like I've dated this Asian guy, and they're like, all Asian guys are like this. Like they generalize, and they're like, oh, I dated a white guy. These white guys are like this, and then they separate the white guys into different categories. They tend to not separate the other ethnicities. Like they always be like, oh yeah, all Asian guys are like this, all Hispanic guys are like this in terms of dating. And then yeah, they also separate into categories as well. Yeah, it's just a lot of stereotyping, labeling in terms of their dating preferences. And I mean, the guys in TSO do that as well, but like to a lesser extent. Like it's just the females in BAP really. So I've actually been running out of space like continuously, but like this is actually gonna be. I don't even know if I'm gonna leave the other vlog as well, but like it's gonna be kind of like the third take. Yeah, I'm leaving the first one for sure, and leaving the second one. I might leave the third one. I don't know. I might just put all. I don't even know like to what extent I can compile everything, but let's see. I'm trying to think. Where did I leave? Let's stop. Okay, so I think it left us off. Oh yeah, in discussing the dating preferences of people in BAP. You know, I was just making sure to see if everybody was just coming by, but like basically like, alright, they discuss dating in BAP. Less so the open discussion of like sexuality and stuff, like as the group in TSO does. And specifically to discuss their dating preferences. But I've seen them discuss specific people they dated as well. But it's never about like, yeah, you always see it like suppressed and stuff. Like, they discuss dating as if it's like a networking event in a way. Not really in a way like as you would like and it's discussed negatively all the time, like putting, like I said before, judgments and labels on it one after another. And like, yeah, like it's always just credible judging, and just, yeah, it's like to them it's like an interview process, almost like, yeah, like I said, networking. Less about fun and, you know, pleasures associated with sexuality. Only time I've seen that is in TSO with the group of guys within it. And I don't know, it's just really different and contrasting approaches to sexuality. And I think that's really the point I was trying to make. I think actually, what I'll do is I'll leave all the takes. I'm going to post every single take. Like, I was actually unsure about it, but yeah. In respect to the Baruch Uncensored philosophy, I'm going to post every single take that of what I said. And just to a quick rundown of homosexuality. So I've actually seen in both clubs, you know, people who identify as homosexuals, and yeah, like what I noticed at least is, since most, you know, both of those clubs tend to be of heterosexuals mostly, yeah, they tend to be like of, you know, more quiet, more reserved, and yeah, they just focus on discussing grades and just more for like the friendship aspect, less so of, you know, discussing sexuality, because really their views are different from the rest of theirs. And I think they're definitely friendly though, like, and they go out of their way to be friendly to everybody. And maybe it's just like, since to them acceptance means more than anything regarding like, yeah, like to them acceptance is a big thing, and to be accepted like that within the clubs and among groups of people probably means a lot to them, because it's not usually their sexual norms and values aren't really accepted across the world, and even within their local communities, and to be accepted like that is big to them. And that's one thing I noticed regarding homosexuality in specifically Transfer Student Organization and in BAP, and there are homosexuals in both. So yeah, I don't know, like, if there's one last thing I just want to say, there's some, but I know, so both groups are pretty diverse, but BAP is more about the suppression of sexuality and just discussing it more as a impersonal, judgmental, and negative way. And TSO, it's only when the guys are there and the girls clear out, that's when we really get into honest discussion of sexuality and stuff. It's just really different contrasting approaches, and I found that interesting. And I don't know, it's just, I guess in a way, like, their cultural norms and values play an effect in deciding that. But I'll really get into this the next vlog as well. Like, this is almost entirely on sexuality, and I was gonna go into like analysis of the clubs and stuff, but yeah, I didn't really get a chance to. But it's fine though. Like, if anything, I could make this into maybe the last vlog. I'm gonna make like 30 minutes long. I don't even know, but I want to make it like pretty long, just so I could cover everything regarding what I want to say about the vlogs. I mean, about the clubs in Baruch. And yeah, but yeah, this is it. And I'm gonna post all 3 takes on YouTube. But yeah, I'll see you guys in class.